Good day, viewers. Thank you for tuning in to our weekly conversation about balancing our mind, body, spirit, and community. I'm John, and today our guest is our Executive Director, Rick Howell. Welcome to Balanced. Well, viewers, welcome to our first episode of Balanced. My guest, as we said at the beginning of the video, is our Executive Director, Rick Howell.
Hi, John.
Okay. Thanks for joining us for this first episode. This is going to be a weekly episode that we record and put on our Facebook page every Wednesday. So we're here to tell you what this is all about and why it's called Balanced. In thinking through this, we looked at some of our core values of Samaritan. And the core value that these videos are going to be based on has to do with keeping balance. And so we're going to talk a little bit about what that core value is and why it's important to us, and then just give you some ideas of what the content of these videos will be about. So this value says that we place the importance and believe in the importance of keeping balance in our mind, our spirit, our body, and community. So as you hear that, that's a lot to think about. It's based on some scripture verses and stuff. But why is that such, Rick, why is that such an important value to us as Samaritan, the balance of mind, body, spirit, and community?
Well, primarily it's important to us because we believe it's true. We believe that our physical bodies are impacted by our mental health and our spiritual health and our communal health. And we believe our mental health is impacted by our spiritual health and our physical health. We believe that they're all intertwined. Mm-hmm. And as counselors at Samaritan, we have to address sometimes a person's physical health, sometimes their communal health, before we can get to a place where we can help their mental health. Likewise, sometimes we have to address a person's spiritual health in order to help them be better emotionally. Mm-hmm. For example, if someone believes that they are unforgivable and that they've committed the unpardonable sin, it's really hard to see that person not being depressed. Yeah. When they believe that they are, as we're talking about in our case this morning, a gentleman who believed that he was not good enough. And as long as he's not good enough for God, he's going to struggle with depression and anxiety. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, if someone's dealing with an organic depression, it's going to be hard for them to experience the joy of the Lord. Yeah. Until we address that. Yeah. So it's a core value because we believe it's a representative of what happens to us as individuals and individuals in community.
Yeah. So we believe that here, and we see it played out in our own lives.
Absolutely.
Right? So not just our clients. We all deal with this. It's all a balance that we're after. So that's why it's an important value to us.
Yes, and I don't think the church has been responsive enough in that way. Mm-hmm. There was a study done a few years back, and they asked pastors, how many of you think mental health is an important issue for your congregation? And only 63% of the people surveyed said they thought it was. And that means that there are 37% of pastors out there who don't think mental health is an important issue for their church members. Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's 37% too many. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that we need to get that to be 100%.
I'm going to guess that if they were to be surveyed in October of 2020, that number might be a little different. Possibly.
Right. Absolutely. And I think the other piece of that is that there are folks in the church who believe that if you just pray about it, right?
Yeah, sure.
That if you're dealing with depression, it's a sign of a spiritual deficit rather than a biological or an emotional issue. So we're trying to say to folks, Yes, it's more complicated, but it's more accurate.
So this is the point of these videos that we're going to have each week, is to dive into these different things and show that it is important to pay attention to all of them.
Absolutely.
And the balance is important. That's why these videos are going to be called Balanced. Our first 4 sessions or episodes after today are going to just briefly touch on each one of these. We're going to talk about the keys to mental balance, the key to spiritual balance, the key to body balance, key to community balance. That's an interesting one to talk about. So we're going to, again, I hadn't even said this, but our idea is for these videos to be maybe 6-7 minutes long, enough for you to just get something to take away and not sit there for an hour lecture, you know. And these will post every week, same time as this one is that you're watching today. They'll post every week on our Facebook page, and you can always go back and view them again. Send us questions, suggest themes, suggest topics, and we can go down those. So that's what we're doing. If you want to help us create these, send me an email, john@samaritangulfcoast.com. We'll have different guests on, not just always staff engaged in this. So we're looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be great.
It is going to be great.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is the end of our first Balanced episode. We'll be back next week. Have a good afternoon.